If you've spent any time scrolling through social media lately, you've probably seen the massive and honestly pretty intense debates going around about migrant workers and labor insurance benefits. Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to cut right through all that emotional noise. We're looking directly at the official data to build a clear, completely factual picture of what's actually happening.
Here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to quickly cover the internet rumors, the actual legal rules, the truth about pregnancy benefits, death benefits, net contributions to the system, and finally, the overall economic impact.
All right, let's jump right into part one, internet rumors and the viral claims that are just sweeping through society right now. Are Taiwanese funds really raising foreigners? I mean, this is the core question circulating out there, right? The big claim is that foreign migrant workers are somehow enjoying way better labor insurance treatments than local workers, essentially siphoning money right out of the domestic system. Now that is a heavy accusation, so we're going to look strictly at the ledger to find the objective answer.
Now, there's a recent quote from the Yunlin County Federation of Industrial Unions that really hit the nail on the head. They warned that false information threatens to tear society apart. As an organization that is heavily involved with labor, they pointed out that these highly emotional claims are actively dividing people. And honestly, that is exactly why we've got to look at the hard facts rather than just relying on sensational headlines.
Moving on to part two, legal rules and the reality of statutory insurance.
So, the fundamental myth out there is that migrants enjoy better insurance benefits. But what's the actual reality? Well, legal migrants participate under the exact same basic social insurance principles as locals do, period. Paying into this system isn't some special privilege, and it's definitely not a loophole. It is a basic, statutory legal requirement for legal migrant workers while they're employed. It's really just a standard feature of a perfectly normal, regulated labor market.
And if you want proof, just take a look at the actual bureaucratic text straight from the Bureau of Labor Insurance's official FAQ regarding family death benefits. It proves without a doubt that this is a highly regulated, standardized system. It explicitly outlines exactly how benefits are calculated based on the deceased family member's age and relationship. And guess what? That applies universally to anyone who is insured. Plus, claiming those benefits? It is absolutely not a walk in the park. It involves a super rigorous four-step verification process for foreign workers. We're talking Step 1, a death certificate. Step 2, proof of kinship. Step 3, verifying your passport and alien resident certificate. And finally, Step 4, validation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's definitely not some easy loophole where cash is just handed out on demand. No way.
Okay, let's roll into part 3, pregnancy truths and dismantling those maternity payout myths.
Now, you might have seen those viral posts claiming that pregnant migrants get 39,000 NTD a month, plus an extra 500 NTD a day. Well, the reality is there are absolutely zero exorbitant extra subsidies being handed to individuals. Pregnant workers only get the standard statutory maternity benefits, and that extra 500 NTD a day, that's actually a placement fee, and it goes directly to short-term care institutions. It does not go into the pockets of the workers themselves.
To really put this into perspective, just think about the number 0.076%. In 2025, out of a total population of roughly 829,000 migrant workers, only 628 actually required this institutional placement. That means this supposed crisis affects less than 0.1% of the migrant workforce. When facts get blown way out of proportion like that, it just creates a lot of totally unnecessary anxiety.
Let's shift gears to part 4, death benefits, and really analyzing that financial data.
Like we touched on earlier, getting these family death benefits requires overcoming some massive bureaucratic hurdles. According to the official rules, foreign documents have to be authenticated by our embassies abroad, and then they're verified again by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan. And if the documents happen to be in a foreign language, certified Chinese translations are totally mandatory. So making a fraudulent claim from overseas, it is incredibly difficult and highly monitored.
Check out these numbers. Between 2018 and June 2025, family death benefit claims from foreign insured workers amounted to about 61,000 cases, totaling roughly 5.11 billion NTD. Now, I know that sounds massive in isolation, but get this. It makes up merely 0.15% of the total labor insurance expenditures over that exact same period. We are literally talking about a tiny sliver of the overall pie.
All right, moving to part 5, net contributions. It's time to actually follow the money flow.
The 2025 data is honestly the ultimate reality check here. In that year alone, migrant workers paid nearly 5.8 billion NTD into the insurance fund in premiums. But on the flip side, they only claimed about 2.3 billion NTD in benefits, meaning they are paying in significantly more money than they are taking out. So here is the absolutely crucial takeaway. Migrant workers are net contributors. Why? Well, because they're generally young, able-bodied, and have shorter tenures in the country, so they rarely qualify for those long-term payouts. Because of this, they're actually helping to financially prop up the entire insurance fund, stabilizing it for the benefit of local workers as well. They aren't draining the system at all, they're actually reinforcing it.
And that brings us to our final section, Part 6, Economic Impact, Labor Shortages, and Our International Reputation.
Look, we just cannot ignore our domestic reality here. With our severe declining birth rate and, frankly, massive labor shortages, migrant workers are the absolute backbone of our most critical industries. We're talking manufacturing, construction, agriculture, and the long-term care systems that look after our elderly citizens. They all rely heavily on this workforce. Alienating them? That poses a direct, serious threat to our day-to-day economy.
But it actually goes way beyond just filling jobs. The Yunlin Union pointed out a really stark warning. If we are perceived globally as stigmatizing or treating migrant workers unfairly, it directly damages our export competitiveness. And we've actually seen this happen before. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection previously issued withhold release orders, which are essentially bans, on Taiwan's bicycle industry over forced labor concerns. Our supply chain trust is heavily tied to international human rights standards.
Which leaves us right here. As you think about all the facts, the charts, and the hard data we've uncovered today, we have to ask ourselves a pretty big question. How do we balance legal fairness with our international reputation and our very desperate domestic labor needs? Relying on verified data rather than emotional internet rumors isn't just about being fair to foreign workers, it's about protecting our own economic future. I really want you to think about that the next time you see one of those viral posts pop up on your feed. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I hope diving into these facts really helped clarify what is a super complex issue.